Success. Hey guys, good morning and welcome back to the YouTube. I am finally going to get around to a full day of eating. I have my trusty sign here that is going to remind me to make sure I film all my meals today, because I've tried for the past couple of weeks and I have not made it past, I think, meal 2 at best. So today is the day, and I'm gonna record this just to hold myself accountable, but just to quickly drop you some updates. I am maybe just over 2 weeks now into my diet. I'm at 71.7 this morning kilos, and obviously down from 76.7, which was my starting weight. So obviously being just over 2 weeks in, having pulled off a good bit of body fat so far, or a good bit of body weight so far, like that's pretty good going. I've also taken my own lashes off, which I do not advise if you want to keep all your precious lashes, and I feel like my eyes are bold, so that's fun. I'm gonna get stuck in today. I have literally been to do my cardio, so I've just done 20 minutes. That has not changed, not my food has not changed. My cardio expenditure has basically not changed. My steps have come up to 14k from 30, but only because I was already doing that. But the only difference is my plan has just been increased, but I still have a good bit of food. I'm actually going to go through just my normal morning routine up until meal 1, so I still have to go for my walk, and I will just get the creamies ready. I'll unload the dishwasher. I will get my meal 1 together, so obviously when I get back I can literally just make that straight away, but it's already weighed out. So yeah, I can do that now. If you do enjoy the video, please do like, share, subscribe, comment if there's anything else that you want to see, although I know that 4 days of eating are probably the most popular requests I get for the videos. But yeah, if there is anything else, please just drop a comment and I will try my best to cover that. What else do I have today? I have a setup too for a new client, actually a returning client that's coming back, which I'm super excited about, to be working with her again. And then I'm going out later to have my bi-weekly sports massage with Will, which, like I said, I get every 2 weeks just as a recovery benefit, I suppose, for training and progression. I think that if you can get a massage like semi-regularly, it's going to really benefit your recovery, and then allow you to progress a little bit faster. And if there are any areas of tightness or niggles that do come up, then obviously you can just sort those like practically before they manifest into anything that's going to stop you from training the way you want. So I do have my massage with Will, and that is something that I keep in all year round, every 2 weeks. If I'm prepping and I'm getting towards the back end of my prep, then I will usually increase that to literally every single week, just to really keep on top of recovery, because obviously when you're that lean, you are going to find that recovery capacity does diminish a lot. So that's something that I like to keep on top of a little bit more. This is literally the best way as well. I've used it for the past maybe 3 years now. If I find something that I like, I will not change it. I'm just a creature of habit, and I don't like to be disappointed, especially by food. Like, there is literally nothing worse than like food disappointment. Mutant ISO Surge is the one. Cookies and cream or peanut butter chocolate are definitely the best.
You're feeling you've lost your confidence, you sound self-doubt, people are looking at you and
To kick off today's meals, we have meal 1, which is 50 grams of cream of rice, 100 grams of raspberries, which I always will get the frozen ones. I just love frozen raspberries in hot cream of rice. It's just the best. Then I have 10 grams of almond butter in there as well, which is the coconut salt, no, not the salted caramel one. It's the coconut almond one. And then I have 30 grams of whey isolate, which is that mutant isosurge in cookies and cream. I'm just gonna drizzle over the top. So this I'll always have after I do, this is a rest day. So I'll do my 20 minutes of cardio on the Stairmaster at the gym in the morning. I'll drive home and then I'll do about 4,000 to 5,000 steps. So I just make sure that the majority of my activity is actually boxed off like first thing, just so I don't have that much to do towards the back end of the day then, and I just like to get it done early. So I'll do that first walk. Now that my steps are 14k, I will actually do the same walk again, probably this afternoon. So I'll box off another like 4,000 to 5,000, and that will literally just take me up to probably like 11,000, 12,000. And obviously I'll just get the last 2 just walking around. We'll probably go to the shop today as well, actually, because we probably do need to get a few bits. But I'm going to enjoy this now, and I'll catch you at the next meal. Nice. Honestly, the amount of hoodies on the back of this chair just keeps accumulating. It's where the hoodies just come to die. Seeing as today will be a full day of eating, I just thought I would quickly chat as well about not comparing your macros or calories to someone else's, because at the end of the day, everyone is so different. Like, someone's deficit is not going to be the same as someone else's deficit. Someone's surplus is not going to be the same as someone else's surplus. So you can't be looking around you and thinking, oh well, she or he is eating X. Why am I not able to diet on this many calories? Why do my surplus calories have to be so high for me to actually gain like weight? And the thing is there should never be any comparison. I think that from a couple of girls that I've spoken to recently, there can be a degree of like looking at someone else's calories and thinking, well, this is what I should be having and I'm not getting the same results. And the thing is, there will never be any comparison. Like, you are your own person and your body functions very differently to probably someone else's. And you always have to keep this in mind, like when you're setting calories to be in a deficit or in a surplus, like it's not gonna be the same as someone else's, and you have to eat to your needs. Like, if your deficit calories are a lot lower than someone else's, it doesn't mean that there's necessarily something wrong with you, but at the same time, you just have to eat to your needs for what your goal is. So there's so much variation. So as much as I'm going to put my full day of eating out here, I'm going to give you the macros, I'm going to give you the calories, I'm going to give you the exact measurements of the meals. Like, don't compare like my calories today in terms of where I am at in my deficit at 9 years down the line with training, and the amount of muscle that I have, because all of these different variables, like how hard you train, genetics, the amount of muscle that you've actually built over that time, all of these things will dictate generally where your calories will lie potentially, and that's not even the same every time. Like, every diet has a potential to be different. So even like looking back at your past diets, if you've been through dieting phases before or surplus before, it's not to say that all of those are going to be relative or they're all going to be the same, because most likely they will have some variance and they'll be different in one way or another. So try not to get fixed on either what you've done in the past, where your food has been in the past, or what you've had to do to get a certain result before, or anyone else's methodologies or plans to get to where they need to be. You just need to eat for what your body needs for the goals that you have set out for yourself. And there is no like set amount of calories that is the amount of calories for a deficit, the amount of calories for a surplus, the amount of calories for maintenance, the amount of cardio you have to do. Okay, so we are back in the kitchen for meal 2. Just quickly to show you before I eat them, I do have 100 grams of tomatoes with this meal, but I just always like to eat them first because honestly, salty tomatoes are probably the best thing in the world. So I literally just pop a little bit of salt on them and they just go down lovely. And I'm a bit particular because I don't like them being on the plate with the rest of the food. Like, I don't like them being on the plate once I've cooked like my bread and the eggs and everything is warm, because then it makes the tomatoes warm and I don't like the tomatoes when they go warm. So I like them like cold. So I'm gonna eat those first and I'm gonna get the rest of the meal ready. So I actually have egg whites in this meal. I literally just buy the bottled egg whites off of Amazon, just because it's so much easier than having to crack eggs. And then also, if you buy them from like Tesco, like the 2 chicks ones, they're so expensive. It's just so much cheaper and easier just to buy them in bulk on Amazon. And these actually don't need to be refrigerated until you like actually open them, so you can just keep them outside the fridge as well. So that's super handy. So I have 100 grams of these, which is perfect. And I'm also just going to enjoy these tomatoes because this is probably the best part of the meal. It's not the best part of the meal, but definitely one of the best parts. I'm actually pretty chuffed that this meal is still in on a rest day. See, rest days are always going to be lower food for me. Generally, like, the reason why food is higher on a training day is because it just allows me to facilitate better training performance, which obviously has direct carryover to, you know, you retaining muscle and actually growing muscle, and yeah, like, that is key. Hence why, even though it means that rest days are, let's be honest, a bit more of a hungry day or hungry days, it is kind of worthwhile for that carryover to performance, just for food to be higher and carbohydrates to be higher on a training day rather than a rest day. But it does mean that I do appreciate still having bread in my rest day diet. I actually have carbs in all my meals still, except for my yogurt meal, but that's kind of always, that was the same even when I had super high food, peak off season, but at one point I had like a couple of rice cakes in that meal, but they did get taken out towards the back end, obviously, to slow down my rate of gain a little bit. I will definitely enjoy them while they last, which I really don't know how long that is going to be. Here is meal 2 then. Obviously I already ate the tomatoes, but it's 100 grams of white sourdough bread. Then I also have 100 grams of egg whites, 40 grams of salmon, and 25 grams of avocado as well. I love an oversized hoodie. Love an oversized hoodie, especially on a rest day. Now, this is one of Mark's hoodies. Obviously, it's not my hoodie. But I don't know if this is a bit too excessive because I have very short shorts on, which I will then always kind of wear this hoodie if I am going for a walk, because then essentially I feel like a little bit more covered. But at the same time, if I then want to take the hoodie off, I can wrap it around my waist, and then it's the best case scenario in any sense. If it's hot, if it's cold, whatever. It's one of those things though that I just don't know if it's just a bit too much, because it is actually like a dress. Yeah, we're just gonna go for it anyway. Just on the second walk of the day, so this is what will literally box off the remainder of my steps, especially given that we're going to the shop. Like, I'll probably get another 1,500 in then. I think this takes about 30 to 40 minutes, this walk, so it is a good amount of steps. I would say for every 10 minutes you walk, you will do about 1,000 steps. So if you're ever wondering like how to equate that into your day in terms of your schedule, then that's probably the best way to go about it. When we were walking here yesterday morning, there was actually a deer in there. Honestly, it was unreal, and it was just like stood there looking at us, but obviously there's not a deer now, so I'm literally just videoing some grass for you. But that's 350 grams of 0% Greek yogurt. I always get try that again, shall we? Meal 3 is 350 grams of Greek yogurt, 0%. I always get the bio one, but it genuinely tastes the best. I cannot stand the Aldi 0% one, even though they're practically the same thing, but I can honestly tell the difference, and I'm really picky about my food sources. So I have 350 grams of Greek yogurt, 200 grams of strawberries. I usually have raspberries, but because they practically have the same macros, I've actually swapped them out for strawberries today. If you are going to get strawberries, I always suggest getting the red ruby strawberries from Aldi or the Tesco Finest ones, just spending that little bit extra, just because I find that they're so hit and miss. Like, sometimes strawberries are great, sometimes strawberries are terrible. So there's nothing worse than them being an absolute letdown. I prefer just to spend a bit more and just make sure that they taste fantastic, because I'm a food snob like that. I just want all my foods to taste like divine. And then I also have the 10 grams of the coconut almond butter on top of that to finish it off. So I'm going to enjoy this now. Like I said, this is my only like quote-unquote carb-free meal of the day that's not, you know, in the yogurt or not from the fruit, like in terms of like starchy carb sources. So I'm going to get that done now, and then my next meal is actually eggs and rice. So I'll see you back for that one. I think that, yeah, I won't be out for that one. We're leaving this afternoon because obviously I have that massage, and then I'll actually take my meal 5 with me. So wait, this is meal 3, then I've got meal 4, and then I'll take my meal 5 with me, which I'll show you when we get that. Back for meal 4. Yeah, 4. So this is just before we go out, because I have massage at 4:30. So it's currently 20 to 4 now, and I'm about to get this meal down, which is 50 grams of rice, uncooked weight, jasmine rice always, 150 grams of egg whites, 1 whole egg, and 100 grams of veg. So I do 75 grams of veg, and actually I have kimchi with this meal, so I need to make sure I actually put that in. I just have the 25 grams of this. Now, you know what, like, fermented food is great for gut health, but I don't just have it because of that. I have it just because I genuinely like it. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't have it. But honestly, if you get a good kimchi, it's just unreal with rice. It's just, oh, the best. I actually got this from, it's the Baxter's one. I actually got it from Aldi, believe it or not. And this is actually one of the better ones that I've had. Definitely better than the, what's it called? Biona ones that you can get from like Tesco sometimes. They're pretty terrible, to be honest. So definitely recommend that one if you can find it in your local Aldi. We also have our meals prepped and ready to go because obviously we'll be out for a good like 3 hours or so. I've got my massage, which now I then have to drive Mark to his haircut because obviously he can't drive. So that's going to be another hour. So I'm going to eat this now just before we go. Have 1 meal prepped. Mark's meal timings are a little bit later than mine. So he has 2 meals. So I'm guessing he'll probably eat one of those in the car. Or we're on the way. And yeah, I'm going to get this down. And then we're ready to rock and roll. I've literally just had my massage with Will there, and I am at Mark's Barber's now just to drop him off. So while I wait for him, I'm going to have my meal 5, which is... This is meal 5. So I have 125 grams of chicken. I have 100 grams of veg, and then 200 grams of sweet potato, and 100 grams of apple as well. So that's meal 5. I'm gonna sit here, eat that. I'm gonna do some messages as well, just get back to a few clients and start editing this video. And obviously once we're done, we'll rush back for creamies, I'm sure, have a shower, and then we'll be set for the evening. So here for the last meal of the day, meal 6, which is probably our favourite meal. Well, I keep saying that about every meal, but it's one of our favourite meals of the day because we have the creamy for this meal. This is literally just 30 grams of whey, and I actually use 200 mils of almond milk unsweetened with this as well, which I've just kept in consistent since I finished my push-up. I also have 50 grams of oats and 100 grams of raspberries. I have 5 grams of almond butter in oats and then 5 grams of almond butter in the creamy. Now, with my oats, I do actually have 40 grams of egg whites as well. I know that sounds a little bit weird, but believe me, egg whites in your oats, if you cook them into your oats, they make them so fluffy. So if you have like 50 grams of oats, just adding like 40 grams of egg whites, oh, honestly, the texture is actually so nice. So it's not actually weird, it doesn't taste like eggs. With sweetener and some salt, it's just perfection. So we're gonna get this down now. We're gonna watch some Too Hot to Handle, which we absolutely hate that we love. But this is our little routine for bedtime, just have our creamies, watch some shitty reality TV, and we'll just properly wind down before bed. So that kind of closes off the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, please like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more, or if there's anything else you want to see, just comment down below, and I will be back in the next one.
Finally. There it is, our first L-bomb of the series, and it was worth the wait.
I want to get a ton of those.
Oh yeah.
We know.
Yeah.